Hello, I'm Dr. Isabel Martinez. The hard truth is that a heart attack can strike any one of us at any moment. You could be sitting comfortably when an intense pressure suddenly grips your chest like an iron fist. Breathing becomes difficult. Cold sweat appears on your skin. Panic starts to rise. In those first moments, every second counts. Many people lose valuable time because they do not know what to do. The reality is frightening, but there is genuine hope. Simple actions taken immediately can help keep your heart going until help arrives. Preparation turns fear into power and can completely change the outcome. One moment you're living your normal day, and the next, everything changes in an instant. You might be watching television or reading quietly when a heavy pressure suddenly builds in the center of your chest. It feels like a strong hand squeezing tightly, refusing to let go. Your breath becomes shallow, a cold sweat breaks out across your forehead and back. Your arm might start to ache, or your jaw feels uncomfortable. These are not minor discomforts to brush aside. Many people in this situation make this same mistake. They tell themselves it will pass. Perhaps it's just heartburn or stress from a long day. They wait a few minutes, hoping the feeling eases. Those minutes are critical. During a heart attack, a blockage stops blood from reaching part of the heart muscle. Without oxygen, cells begin to die quickly. The Mayo Clinic explains that every minute without proper blood flow causes more permanent damage. I remember speaking with Carlos, a 62-year-old teacher from my community. He was grading papers at his kitchen table when the symptoms hit him. At first, he tried to ignore the growing tightness. He stood up to get water, thinking movement would help. Instead, the pressure intensified and his vision blurred slightly. Carlos had always been active and never considered himself at high risk. Like so many others, he underestimated what his body was trying to tell him. This experience connects to all of us. Whether you are in your 50s, 60s, or even younger, heart attacks do not send invitations. They arrive without warning during ordinary moments. You may have family waiting for you, a spouse, children, or grandchildren who depend on your presence. The fear that rises in these moments is natural, but it does not have to leave you powerless. What happens inside the heart during these first minutes explains the urgency. An artery that supplies blood to the heart muscle becomes blocked, often by a clot. The heart tissue downstream starves for oxygen. The National Institutes of Health notes that irreversible damage can begin within 20 minutes. This is why recognizing the signs early matters so much. Pain that spreads to the left arm, neck, or back, nausea, sudden fatigue, lightheadedness. Your body is sending clear signals that need immediate attention. Yet many still hesitate. They worry about bothering others or fear looking dramatic if it turns out to be nothing serious. This hesitation costs lives every single day. Understanding this reality creates both concern and an important opening for hope. The common belief that the best response is simply to sit still and wait for help creates a dangerous contradiction. You feel the pressure building, the sweat turning cold, and your first instinct is often to remain calm and do nothing. This waiting game feels safe, yet it hands precious time to the blockage inside your artery. Blood flow slows to a trickle while the heart muscle downstream cries out for oxygen. Minutes slip away, and with them, more cells lose their fight to survive. Alina was 59 when it happened to her one quiet evening. She had just finished dinner with her husband and felt a familiar tightness she dismissed as indigestion from the meal. Instead of acting, she chose to lie down on the couch, hoping rest would settle everything. The discomfort grew heavier, spreading toward her shoulder. Her breathing became labored, yet she still hesitated to call for help, worried she might be overreacting. By the time her husband realized something was truly wrong, critical time had already been lost. Elena survived, but she later told me how that delay left her wishing she had known there were better options than passive waiting. Science shows exactly why this passive strategy falls short so often. When an artery feeding the heart becomes blocked, oxygen delivery drops almost immediately. The National Institutes of Health reports that heart muscle cells begin irreversible injury within 20 minutes of severe restriction. Electrical signals that normally keep your heartbeat steady start to falter as the tissue becomes irritated. What begins as a steady rhythm can shift into chaotic patterns, making the heart less efficient at pumping blood to your brain and the rest of your body. This internal storm builds quietly at first, then accelerates. Many people compound the problem by reaching for the wrong kind of help. They might take an antacid, drink water, or even try light exercise, thinking movement will ease the pressure. These everyday remedies provide no support to the struggling heart muscle. In fact, they can distract you from the urgency and allow the blockage to do more harm. The frustration is real because these actions feel logical in the moment, yet they ignore the mechanical reality unfolding inside your chest. Your heart is not simply tired, it is fighting a literal life or death battle for blood supply. What makes this even more concerning is how quickly the heart's electrical system can become unstable. Without steady oxygen, the specialized cells responsible for each beat lose coordination. One area may fire too fast, while another lags behind, creating dangerous arrhythmias. Harvard Medical School research highlights that the first 10 to 15 minutes often decide whether the heart can maintain enough output to keep you conscious. Most of us have never been taught that the body itself possesses temporary mechanisms to fight back during this window. This knowledge gap leaves people feeling helpless when, in truth, small active steps can make a measurable difference. I have witnessed this frustration countless times in my patients. They arrive at the hospital after delaying because no one ever explained the internal timeline or the possibility of immediate self-support. The sense of powerlessness is heavy, yet understanding the mechanism brings a shift toward clarity. Your heart is not helpless in those early moments. It responds to certain pressures and movements that can temporarily assist circulation and stabilize rhythm even while the blockage remains. These responses are not cures, but they can buy the exact minutes needed for emergency teams to reach you. This deeper look into the heart's struggle during an attack opens a powerful door of possibility. Instead of accepting that nothing can be done until help arrives, you begin to see that your own body holds resources that can be activated right away. The contradiction between feeling powerless and knowing active responses exist creates a new kind of hope. Preparation is not about fear. It is about stepping into the role of an informed partner with your heart. Every insight into these mechanisms strengthens your ability to stay present and in control when it matters most. The relief that comes from this understanding is genuine. You no longer have to face the symptoms feeling completely at the mercy of the situation. There are evidence-based ways to support your heart's effort while waiting for professional care. This knowledge transforms the experience from one of passive dread into one of purposeful readiness. The path forward becomes clearer with each layer of understanding, leaving you curious and empowered about what specific actions can actually help in those critical first minutes. The heart possesses remarkable temporary ways to support itself when blood flow is suddenly restricted. These are not cures, yet they can provide the critical minutes that keep you conscious until professional help arrives. I am Dr. Isabel Martinez, and after exploring the urgency and the limitations of waiting, I want to share with you 3 evidence-based techniques that my patients have used successfully. Each one is simple, can be performed on your own, and works by gently assisting your heart's circulation or rhythm. They complement emergency care and have helped turn frightening moments into stories of survival. The first technique is a powerful cough. When you feel that crushing pressure in your chest and your heart seems to falter, take a deep breath to fill your lungs completely. Then cough forcefully from deep in your chest, as if trying to clear something stuck inside. Repeat this strong, rhythmic cough every 2 seconds for at least 1 full minute. The increased pressure inside your chest acts like an internal pump, pushing blood forward even when an artery is partially blocked. Harvard Medical School notes that this maneuver can temporarily maintain blood flow to the brain and heart muscle. Mercedes, a 72-year-old retired nurse, used it during a sudden episode at home. She told me the coughing kept her mind clear enough to call for help and stay awake until the ambulance arrived. The relief in her voice when she recounted the story still stays with me. The second technique is the precordial thump, a quick mechanical jolt to the chest. If the cough is not enough and you sense your heartbeat becoming chaotic or your vision starting to fade, make a firm fist and strike the center of your chest, right over the sternum between the nipples with a short, sharp downward motion. Do this once per second for 5 to 6 repetitions. The vibration stimulates the heart's electrical system, much like a small version of a defibrillator. It can help reset an irregular rhythm and keep blood moving. This is not for mild discomfort, only when collapse feels imminent. Julian, a 64-year-old accountant, applied it one evening after dinner when his symptoms escalated rapidly. His wife, who had learned the method in one of my workshops, guided him. He felt an internal shift that restored some steadiness, allowing him to remain conscious until paramedics took over. The doctors later confirmed the thump likely contributed to his positive outcome. The third technique uses targeted acupressure on a specific point in your hand. Locate the soft web between your thumb and index finger. Press firmly with the thumb of your opposite hand for 5 seconds, then release for 2 seconds, repeating the cycle for about 1 minute while breathing slowly in for 4 counts and out for 4. Alternate hands if needed. This stimulates the vagus nerve, which helps calm a racing or erratic heartbeat and reduces the body's stress response. The Mayo Clinic recognizes that such peripheral stimulation can lower heart rate and ease anxiety during acute episodes. Teresa, a 63-year-old librarian who lives alone, relied on this during a nighttime episode. She described how the steady pressure and breathing gave her a sense of control that prevented panic from overwhelming her. She stayed clear-headed long enough to dial emergency services and describe her symptoms accurately. These 3 actions form a practical sequence you can follow in order. Start with the cough, add the thump if needed, and use the acupressure to maintain calm throughout. None replace calling for help immediately, but together they buy time by supporting circulation, rhythm, and focus. I have seen the transformation in patients who practice them beforehand. The fear that once paralyzed them turns into quiet confidence because they know exactly what to do. Your body already holds these tools. Preparation simply teaches you how to activate them. What makes this knowledge so empowering is the shift it creates in how you face the unexpected. Instead of feeling helpless as the pressure builds, you become an active participant in your own survival. Each technique reminds you that your heart is resilient and responsive. Families I work with now practice these together during calm moments, turning abstract worry into shared readiness. The emotional weight lifts when you realize you are not waiting passively. You are responding purposefully. Take these steps today while you are healthy. Talk with your doctor about your personal risk factors. Share the techniques with your loved ones so they can help or use them themselves. Control blood pressure, manage cholesterol, stay active, and never ignore symptoms. These daily habits, paired with the emergency tools, create a complete shield around a life you value. You now hold the information that can change the story of a heart attack from tragedy to triumph. My message to you is clear and hopeful. Your heart deserves this preparation, and so do the people who love you. Act on it, practice it, and carry the confidence that comes from being ready. I am Dr. Isabel Martinez, and I believe in your ability to protect what matters most.